Why should people even listen to me? These are all the things running through my head.
Who are you?
Exactly. Who are you? It's the Lion King, man. I love that movie. Hello and welcome to The Human Now, where we're discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time. My name is Akash. And today I am joined by Roshan and
Anish.
Cool. So for those who are just tuning in who are new, or just would like a little reminder, what we do as well is after our sessions we have like a little like mini session, you could say, where we discuss just anything general. We've had ones where it's been like on Kanye West,
That's cool.
or even like what would you take on a desert island, or we discuss even quotes as well. So today we're going to discuss a quote by our main man, Humble the Poet, one of our many inspirations. And so the quote is, "There's no growth in your comfort zone, and there's no comfort in your growth zone." And so what he's talking about is he relates this to the yin yang, and how you got to kind of have like a little bit of both in the other. So there's no growth in your comfort zone, and there's no comfort in your growth zone. This is interesting because this heavily links to what we just talked about
That's
in
what I was
our
thinking.
previous podcast, right? We were saying like you can't
Expect results without putting in the hard work.
exactly, and like you you are only a product of who you are now because of what you've done. You know what I mean? Like you can't be who you want to be expecting to be the same person you are now. Like that's how I'm starting to relate to this quote. You know, is there's no growth in your comfort zone, there's no comfort in your growth zone. So you got to kind of have a bit of both. And what do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I fully agree with that. It's like when you're at the gym and like it's like if you're doing, you know how we talked about recording what you're doing at the gym. If you don't do that, then you don't realize what you're doing differently to progress.
Yep.
If you're constantly doing the same thing, then you'll get the same result, right? And so like run that extra mile or do that extra rep or add that extra set or put on those extra weights. Yeah. And that's how you stay uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
that's the
that's how you
second part of the
grow.
quote, right?
Yeah.
There's no comfort in your growth zone. Where it's like even for me, I've been actually getting to the gym now for about a
That's
month,
really cool, man. Yeah.
and it's going early in the mornings, like starting at 6, which means like a 5:15 or 5:30 wake up, and that is so uncomfortable. Is like, man, like why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like the time in my day where I've been able to just have time for myself, but also where I can actually go to the gym, because when you go to work or uni or stuff happens in the evening, you know, so for me it's like optimum ideal time. But yeah, man, it's uncomfortable.
I had the same experience, man, because I would wake up 4:30 before I used to go, because I start work at 8.
Yep.
But like I don't want to rush too much. So
Yep.
especially the workout, like you want to be present. You don't want to rush that either. And so like that was during the winters, like it's just so cold, you know.
Yeah.
And like
when you hear the rain, you just,
yeah,
or
that
when
too.
you're like, your mind will just be like, oh, you're tired, or you need to rest today, or you need to do this to function. You know, like just I can come up with so many excuses to not go, except for the one reason to go.
Yeah. And then you realize like building habits is important, but you got to realize that you can, by not doing something, you're building like that habit, or you're creating those neural pathways in your brain that it's okay to not do it. You know?
Yeah.
And so you can get comfortable in not doing
Exactly.
something. And that will kind of, you know, push you further away from your goal. Whereas if you constantly just keep executing on what you plan you're gonna do, then you build those good
True.
habits and those positive like neural pathways in your brain. So consistency is so important. But start small, right? Like how did you start? And what was your reason why you started?
The reason why I started was like I've always wanted to go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
or not even that. It's just being okay with my body and like appreciating and loving my body for the way it is.
For yourself,
For
right?
myself.
Yeah.
100% for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
And recognizing that my body is a tool which allows me to do what I want to do. And so if I'm eating right and if I'm thinking the right things, but my body isn't like, if I'm not doing that, do you know what I mean? Then the three aren't
In line.
Yeah.
They're not aligned. So for me, it was like, and for the type of person I want to be. Do you know what I mean? Like if I want to be having these types of discussions, if I want to be talking about all these things,
You have to be doing
but
it.
if I'm not doing, you know what I mean? Like if we're talking about you gotta hustle, you gotta do this, you know, it takes hard work, da 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 da. But I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. Then like, what's the point of even me doing all this? Do you know what I mean?
Who are you to tell others if you're not doing it?
Yeah. You know, so for me, it was like a mix of all these things, but the main reason for me was just to have those three things in alignment to help me feel good about myself, because I kind of knew where and what I wanted to be and feel and look like, you know.
And it doesn't even have to be about being like jacked and
Nah,
big and muscular. No, it doesn't. It's just keeping those promises to yourself. Like,
and it's
that's
just
more important, I think.
what I've found as well is it's just something I do for myself.
Yeah.
You know, like we're so busy in our lives doing things for other people, making other people happy, but like it's nice to just go to the gym and just work out, you know.
That's true.
What about you, Roshan? In regards to the quote, so
no
just reread
comfort in
there's no growth in your comfort zone, there's no comfort in your growth zone. So how do you relate to that?
yeah, so no growth in the comfort zone. I think maybe in the last month also I've like in terms of nursery, I think now I'm trying to like get out of like, okay, yeah, I just do the video and editing side. Now it's like, okay, if I want to do this properly, I need to like start talking to people, to put my name
True.
out there. So I think like I think that's where the growth in the comfort zone is like, okay, if I want to do this, then I need to get out there, talk to people. And like I've always had a problem talking. Even this is like
this is huge, man.
This is crazy. So
I think
like,
you've grown like
I'm proud of you,
today.
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think that's where like growth in my comfort zone is like
I had the same.
I need to be like going out there talking to people if I want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really brave of you to do that, bro. Because I was the same, bro. Like, I still feel like I'm the same, just because I've always been the one listening to people like talking or whatever, and like, and you always feel like what you're gonna say might not contribute as well as what everyone else is saying.
Like even like what I have to say is similar to what someone else is saying. So like, I forget it. It's all right.
But do you know how important and valuable
Yeah.
it is to say something? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're around the right people and they're on the same vibe as you, like they'll appreciate you so much more for saying what you think.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you know? Because what you're actually doing is you're building like a rapport, or it's kind of like a mirror. And like what you're saying, like if you whatever you say will resonate with me because of what you're like, I'll resonate more with you based on what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you're taking interest in what the other person is saying.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Even like coming to this podcast, I was like, man, I got to prepare for this. Like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if like everyone watching thinks I'm a noob or something? Like, you know, you get like fear of judgment.
Exactly.
And, like,
Yeah.
get,
100%.
Like, anxiety and like failure and stuff. And like, just like, you know how I said do it for people? I was like, I'll do it for the boys. Like, I'll do it for Nash Street, you know? I won't do it for myself. Like, I have all these feelings. Yeah, right. But let's do it for them. Yeah. And that kind of like, kind of pushed everything aside when I was doing it in service for someone. Let's do it for the people watching.
Yep.
And so like in the previous podcast, that's what I meant by saying do it for someone. Yeah. Right. And so that helped me a lot. Because you guys have done so much for the disciples. Like, you know, I'll never forget that. Yeah. Just we're going in deep now.
There was something else. There was something I was just gonna say. It's gone now.
Sorry.
It'll come back, but it's gone. Anything else in regards to the quote? There's no growth in your comfort zone and no comfort in your growth zone.
That first step in getting out there is going to be the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
True.
But in the long run, you'll regret not taking that step more than you'll regret taking it.
That's what Ace said, right?
Yeah.
There's your
exactly.
quote. And I think it's also just getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like making your
That's-
uncomfortable comfortable. And sorry, now I remember what I was gonna say. So you know how you said you had fear of judgment and anxiety of being on here and not knowing if what you're saying was the right thing? Man, I went through the exact same
Yeah.
thing. Like throughout this whole week and even to like doing this podcast. You know, it's like, who am I to come and sit here and talk about all these things? You know, what have I achieved? What have I done? Like, who
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah.
Why should people even listen to me? These are all the things running through my head. Who
Are you?
Exactly. Who are you?
Yeah.
It's the Lion King, man. I love that movie. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared of the people who are listening and watching,
Yeah.
you know, because for them to be like, oh, who's this guy? You know, what is he doing? What makes him right to? But really, why are you listening? But then I thought, man, I was like, who cares? If I want to sit here and talk, let me sit here and talk. You don't have to
Man.
listen to me.
People
Exactly,
love
it's
it
like-
though.
You don't have to listen to
The
what we're
people
doing.
listening, they want to listen to us. There's like,
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
some.
But like also it's the intention. Like I'm here to actually learn. I'm not here to talk about what I think I know. You know, I'm here to have three people talk, explain what they want,
Yeah.
and then people who are listening or taking something in to then, you know, they'll hopefully whatever's being discussed here will be will spark or get other people thinking, you know. And so then because I was thinking about that, the fear of coming and speaking and talking about like being compared or being judged, you know, is like you don't think about that anymore. It doesn't become like it's still there, but the pros outweigh the cons for me. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You know, it's like actually, who cares?
Mm.
Everyone's on their own race. Everyone's doing their own thing. If I don't care, I don't care.
That's like remember when we went to see Gary V?
Yeah.
And he's like
You gotta speak into the mic.
when we went to see Gary V, he's like, I think he was speaking. It was during the Q&A. Someone like was a bit nervous about starting his own YouTube channel and stuff, and he's like, "No one cares.
You know,
Like,
so
no
many
one
people are
cares. You
busy
just start.
in their
Yeah,
own lives.
everyone will care. Like they'll see it, they'll watch it maybe, and then they'll just like automatically switch back into their own reality and just go on, you know, with
Yep.
their day or whatever their thoughts. Yeah.
They worry more about themselves to care about what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what I've learned also about like judgment is that it's more a representation of that person and their insecurities than it is on your own action.
That's so true.
You know, so yeah, man. Any other thoughts on the quote? There is no growth in your comfort zone. There's no comfort in your growth zone. Yeah.
Nah.
Dang, I went blank.
All good, man. I think it was quite fitting that that this is like come off the last podcast. I think that was cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I think if anything, if anyone wants to take any action or any key learnings from this, it's same as what we discussed before. You know, is that you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that there is pretty much like you can't expect to grow in a comfortable position.
Another thing I want to say is it's addicting to be uncomfortable.
It
When
really
you
is.
Yeah, it is.
It
Do you
really
guys feel
is.
that too?
Yeah,
You start one thing and you're like, man, what else can I do now? Like,
yeah,
because I started training. I started waking up early. I was like, all right, cool. Like I can do this now. And then I started training,
Yep.
and then I was like, okay, I can do this now. Let's like, because like the more you research into like training and nutrition, the things that like certain things you find you can do to add to that regimen, like routine. And that was cold showers for me, like warm and cold, like going back and forth, like 30 seconds each. And that just helps with blood flow and recovery and
Really?
your nervous system.
Yeah.
It wakes you up definitely. And it's just like, it gets you, you know, like you breathe heavily under cold, you know, like when you step into a pool, you're like that, like you start to breathe, and then that oxygen helps with the blood flow, recovery, and all that plays a role. And training and nutrition. So I was like, okay, let's do that. And then soon I realized like I was doing so much that would make me feel uncomfortable, and it all started from doing one thing. And so it can be addictive.
Yeah, I can relate to that, because I started at the gym. That was like the thing. And then in the morning and evenings, I'd read something as well. And that would just be like to start habit. And then from that's where the podcast came back, you know. And then that allowed us to then spark all the stuff with Nash Street as well. And then even from that, I went skiing. You know,
How many times?
How
many times?
I've been once.
Oh, you've only been once.
I've been once. I was meant to go again, but then the rugby was on. So it's like,
fair enough.
But it just opens up like your thinking to like, what else can I do and achieve? Do you know what I mean? Like nothing's not achievable now.
So true, man.
When you just
But
get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
you like took that one step, right? And it's like you're able to do so much more now compared to if you didn't. And you're like,
I'd still be in the same place.
you'd just be like sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. Like there was
Yeah.
but you actually have to go through that.
Yeah.
Like there'd be the beginning half of this year, I'd be just sitting in my room watching Netflix. And being like, that was like, I would be, what do you call it? It's like, there's a speaker. It's like when, like I make it okay to be doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I made up all these excuses. This is why I need to do this. Da 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 da. But then that one thought where it's like, nah, let's change it up. You know, and then that's when you get uncomfortable. And now now that I'm uncomfortable, I like getting other people uncomfortable.
Really do.
Like, who else gonna get uncomfortable?
Yeah, you just want to spread it out.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Cool. So that was a nice quick little discussion on the quote. I'm just trying to. Oh, what's happening? So there's no growth in your comfort zone. There's no comfort in your growth zone. The quote's pretty self-explanatory. That sounds good. Cool. If you've got anything that or you feel like you're in a situation and you feel like you're comfortable, maybe think about something you can do to make yourself uncomfortable. Like I said, have a cold shower or
Just the easiest
think
way
about
to
a new
start.
habit. Just think, even the thought of doing something uncomfortable, just start with that. That's getting out of that
That's true.
comfort.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Cool. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for
having me.
quick session. Appreciate it. If you've got anything that you'd like us to discuss, if you've got anything, any feedback, please do let us know. You can catch us on all social media platforms, just about, except Twitter. Not really a fan of Twitter. Cool. Until next time, be human, be now. I was sitting there and I was like, yeah, the light's not on, man. But we'll keep going.
I realized I was like, because before you said you're in, I was like, that's not on. And I went to it, I was like, I'm gonna wait till he's like
Yeah.
near the end. So many people see it.